evening and welcome to Atlantic Television Network News at 9 p.m. First, the headlines. Ijaw Group advises Wike to make peace with Fubara. Ohaneze advises Igbos to relocate investment to Southeast. Odinkalu probes judiciary over delay of CDC of judgment. Experts back CBN on banks recapitalization. For the foreign scene, U.S. President Biden calls for extension of Israeli-Hamas truce. And from entertainment, skit maker Brian Jotta recounts experience. An LPF Referees Association plans to sanction defaulters. Group known as Ijaw National Congress Worldwide has called on the immediate past governor of Rivers State, Mr. Nyesom Wike, to make peace with Governor Siminalayi Fubara for the sake of peace and development of the state. The INC, which expressed displeasure about the political crisis in the state, particularly between Governor Wike and Fubara, said it will always stand on the side of truth and good governance. While in a statement by the president of the group, Professor Benjamin Okaba in Akure, Ondo State, the association commended the people of Rivers State for standing against the purported planned impeachment against Governor Fubara, urged Wike not to disrupt the current administration in the state. The statement also made an urgent call on all political players in Rivers State to play their duty to their constituents and forthwith cease from any further action capable of slurring the sanctity of the office, institution and person of the governor of all Rivers people, and also commended President Bola Tinubu on his elder statesman, Chief Edwin Clark, and some of other eminent Nigerians for the intervention in the crisis. The Ijaw National Congress further called on the people of the state to remain vigilant, steadfast, and continue to cooperate with law enforcement agencies to maintain peace in Rivers State and the Niger Delta. A chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, Chief Eze Chukwemeka Eze, condemns the dissolution of the executives of the party in Rivers State, while alleging that the APC leadership is plotting to hand over the party in Rivers State to Wike just to spite Amechi. National Working Committee of the APC
you keep your ego. Haven't sat back and watched. They used to use this parable that where the younger ones stretches and could not see forward. An elderly one sit back and sees. But it seems like in these current days, it seems to be a reverse, that even the elderly ones sit and sometimes find a way to stand and stretch like the young ones, and they still could not see. Because I don't know a situation whereby you are a grassrooted politician. You knew the internal mechanisms of the party before
and related acts of criminality, noting that he was into the dredging business. Meanwhile, no fewer than 50 persons, including a monarch and former local government chairman, are standing trial for the death of the gallant police officer. While the Rivers State Police Command has severally raided criminal hideouts in the other exits of the state and killed some suspects linked to the death of the DPO, but the prime target, Tubaba, has remained elusive. Tantita Security Service Limited has refuted any involvement in the alleged military gunboat invasion of Ibomatoro in southern Ijaw local government area of Bayelsa State, which resulted in Sunday's protest by the statement signed by the state coordinator, Bayelsa Operations, Joshua Masiva, while reacting to a media report on the incident and the claims of the community, claimed that the military onslaught was at the instance of Masiva, who was All Progressive Congress deputy governorship candidate in the just concluded governorship election in the state. They also alleged that Masiva masterminded the invasion to oppress them and also install one Friday Jonathan, who had been rejected as the paramount ruler of the community, adding that the APC chieftain was using his links with Antita to reportedly cause mayhem in the community. The caretaker committee chairman of the Southern Council area, Lucky Okede, who also raised similar security concerns over the operations of Tantita in the area, accused the firm of security breaches, including destruction of lives and property, and further called for a thorough to address the alleged security breach perpetrated by the company's operatives and bring the perpetrators to book. The Delta State Governor, Sheriff Boruwori, has awarded to Julius Berger, Nigeria Limited PLC, in Warri and Efuru Metropolis. Speaking at the ceremony, Governor Boruwori said the projects are in fulfillment of the promises made to the electorate and a desire to give Warri Efuru Metropolis the needed facelift. Also said the state government has released the agreed sum as advance payment to the contractor, which on its part commenced surveys, final design soil test and other activities precedent to the commencement of actual reconstruction works, adding that the design and construction of flyover bridge from Enehe Junction, Efuru to Marine Gate, Warri in Uvie and Warri South local government area has been put in place. And from Edo State Council report that the State Deputy Governor Philip Chaibu has declared his interest to contest the forthcoming 2024 governorship election on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, declaring that nobody can halt his ambition. The Deputy Governor who made his declaration at the Bishop Kelly Center, Benin, said he is a homeboy who feels the pain of the people while urging the electorate and party members to back his ambition, adding that having been in politics for 30 years and working with Governor Godwin Obaseki the last 7 years to improve the state, he was in the best position to succeed his principle. The Deputy Governor promised to deliver practical governance if elected governor of the state in 2024, made a declaration of his ambition to join in the Edo governorship race in a live broadcast, while the Independent National Electoral Commission had earlier announced September 21 as election date. Shaib, who promised to strengthen the agricultural sector, vowed to continue where Obaseki stopped in the execution of projects across the state and promised to hit the ground running. Cross River State Governor Prince Basio too has been tasked to concentrate on improving security in the state and tackled against its resurgence of kidnapping and other criminal activities in Calabar, the state capital. Dr. Samuel Chukwudi, an oil mogul, made a call at Zone 6 headquarters of the Nigerian police in Calabar, adding that fears of safety will continue to play in the minds of citizens, visitors, and residents. The businessman, however, alluded to the fact that the state government deserves commendation for tackling insecurity headlong in the last few months. Appeal court sitting in Lagos has said that Ogu Charles Chukwubuka of the People's Democratic Party has challenged the return of Amoka by Independent National Electoral Commission. INEC in the Enugu State Petition Tribunal on September 30, the tribunal notified the election of Honorable Amoka. However, the party candidate headed to the appellate court to challenge the ruling of the tribunal. And in a unanimous judgment, the three-man panel of justices presided over Honorable Justice Bola Yusuf found merit in the appeal of Amoka and upheld his declaration by the Independent National Electoral Commission as a eventual winner of the March 18th House of Assembly election. Reacting to the judgment, one of the councils appealed for the insubstantial justice, adding that it was shocking, surprising that the tribunal, after resolving all the three grounds of objection raised by the Amoka legal team, held that it had no jurisdiction to entertain the petition by Ugu Charles Chukwubuka and PDP 10180 degrees and on the document that was rejected. That was neither pleaded nor before the court to disqualify their claims. Apex Igbo Social Cultural Organization, Ohaneze Igbo, has advised Igbos resident in Lagos State to consider relocating their investment to the southeast. Ohaneze said cities like Aba, Abakaliki, or Onitsha have immense potential for growth. Igbos should consider investment in these areas. Statement by the Factional Secretary General, Ohaneze Okechukwu Izeguzoro, said Ohaneze Igbo encourages Igbos to seize the opportunity as an opportunity to reassess their investment and consider relocating them to Eastern region, adding that Aba, Abakaliki, and Onitsha, after immense potential for growth, assuming office. Police have arrested 5 suspected members of the Aye and Alora confraternities in the Sagamu and Sangota areas of Ogun State through multiple raids conducted by men of the State Police Command and the Ogun State community. Social orientation and safety cause. Police said the suspects were planning on the residents of the communities before they were arrested, while the residents of the Tabo and Joko area of the state have been thrown into palpable fear after they received intelligence that the community might be attacked by suspected cultists. Following intelligence provided by some members of the community, the police in the division and members of the communities said orientation and safety corps swung into action and began patrolling the area. And following this intelligence, the men of the police force in the division began combing and patrolling operations in suspected areas, leading to the arrest of 4 suspected members of the Aye fraternity. State Police Public Relations Officer Omolola Odutola, who confirmed the multiple raids and the arrest, said all the suspects will be prosecuted after the investigation. From Kwara State, the Kwara State government said it's planning to collaborate with any donor agency to eradicate open defecation in the state. State Commissioner for Water Resources, Yunusa Lade, will disclose this when the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund WASH specialist Mrs. Teresa Hama visited his office in Ilorin, the state capital. Said the state government has set aside 200 million naira to provide toilets and other utilities that will discourage open defecation. He also said lawmakers both at the state and federal levels have been engaged in the need to complement the effort of the state government to eradicate open defecation. By mandate bandits in Lokoja. The AP's campaign council also called on security agencies to fortify security around INEC offices, given the alarm raised by the SDP. Director of Media and Publicity, spokesperson for the APC campaign council, Dakinsley Fawa, disclosed this in a statement issued in Lokoja. Responding to allegation the SDP had in a statement issued by its Director General, New Media Morrison Campaign Council, Mr. Isaiah Ijele, claimed that it had uncovered plans to burn down INEC office in Kogi State, adding that there is an urgent need for security to be beefed up around the Kogi INEC office in order to avert the attack. The APC campaign council said the party was convinced that the false alarm raised by the SDP over a purported planned attack on the INEC office had party's sinister motive of touching the INEC office and turning around to blame it. They argued that there were gross irregularities regarding the election of the speaker and that he won the election, while in his ruling the tribunal nullified the election of Lehman on the 30th of September 2023 and ordered a rerun in 42 polling units. An appeal court judgment delivered by Justice O.O. Adejumo, Justice A.O. Oyetola, and Justice P. Benue State Council report that Benue State Command says it has arrested the traditional ruler alongside 17 others for allegedly kidnapping two traders, in Chia Market in local government area of Benue State. Police also rescued the kidnapped victims and recovered arms from the suspects. Public Relations Officer of the Police, Catherine Anene, who disclosed this in a statement, explained that information was received at Logo Police Division. The group of bandits armed with dangerous weapons mobilized and invaded a market in Mchia local government area and kidnapped 2 traders. According to the statement, the police, upon the receipt of the information, which was relayed to Police Headquarters Makurdi, Commissioner of Police relayed to Police Headquarters Makurdi, Commissioner of Police, Benue State Command CP George Chukwu, ordered the deployment of tactical teams to raid the area and ensure that victims were rescued. The PPRO added that while investigation into the matter was ongoing, the Commissioner of Police enjoined the good people of Logo LGA to cooperate with police teams sent to the area by giving them useful information for the arrest of the criminals for prosecution. Urging is demanding for justice from Taraba State Government and security forces to expedite efforts in reclaiming communities currently under control of bandit attacks and captivity. The call comes in the wake of recent brutal killings in the Yangtu development area, prompting the KYN to raise an alarm about the alarming rate at which bandits have taken over certain regions in the state. The group led by National President Emmanuel Ukwem expressed concern that it is no longer a secret that some of the communities have been taken over by mercenaries who continue to occupy our homes, churches, and school buildings while calling on the state government, police force, DSS, and other security operatives to reinforce and expedite actions to reclaim the land and restore peace in the affected areas. The KYN has asserted that the unrest in the region has created an environment conducive to criminal activities, leading to an increase in banditry, kidnappings, robberies, rapes, and other atrocious acts, and also pointed to the unoccupied Ukwe token stool as contributing factor, claiming that the vacuum has allowed various criminal groups to thrive in the state. Suspected gunmen have again abducted over 100 people in Mutunji, Sabongeri, Mahuta, Kwana, Dusi, Ungwaikawo communities of Maru local government area of Zamfara State. Some property of citizens is paramount in determining and impactful governance. Kano State Police Command has uncovered some groups plotting to unleash violence on the state over the appeal court ruling that handed our Progressive Congress candidate Nasir Yusuf Wanu Gawuna victory over Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of the new Nigerian People's Party. The command said it had arrested 7 suspects and they will be charged to court, and that some faceless groups who claim to be traders are guarding some points of the state, including some local government areas, that show that it is on top of the situation. Commissioner of Police Mohammed Hussaini Gumel said intelligence reports at their disposal show that these so-called traders are using religion to perpetrate their acts and express worry ahead of next general elections. The Chief Executive Officer, House of Justice, Gloria Ballason, said the organization will always discuss and profile solutions to contemporary issues in Nigeria, African continent. Former Minister of Lands, Housing and Development, Duese Essien, says what has been practiced in Nigeria since 1999 is not presidential system of Western democracy, but a modified form of democracy by the system's operators. As I said, the presidential Western-style democracy has not failed in Nigeria, but has not been practiced according to the rules. Essien, a one-time member of the House of Representatives, while reacting to the statement created for former President Olusegun Obasanjo that Western-style democracy being practiced by Nigeria is not working for the country, and Africa, said there was no need to blame the Western democracy for introducing their own version of democracy while unending modifications to bring every institution under the control of the head of government to ensure the next election is won. He said by 1999, Nigerians resumed with the presidential system, which of course involves rigid adherence to the separation of powers between the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary, and that it was the operators of the system that decided to modify the separation and put all organs of government under the control of the executive, calling on guided democracy, while the executive embarked on deciding the president of the Senate, Speaker of the House, and leadership of the National Assembly. Former National Vice Chairman, Northwest, of the All Progressive Congress, Dr. Salihul Lukman, has accused the National Working Committee of the party of playing dirty politics with the dissolution of Rivers executives at all levels. The party at all levels and appointed a 7-member caretaker committee led by Chief Tony Okocha to steer the party's affairs in the state for the next 6 months. Lukman, in a statement titled "Ended Progressive Politics," also accused President Bola Tinubu and the national chairman of the party, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, of entrenching garrison politics in the party. Said it was an indication that National Working Committee was preparing the stage for the emergence of the Federal Minister, Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, as the leader of the party. Lukman recalled that Okocha, who was alleged to be a supporter and political ally of Wike, had a delegation of Wike's loyalists on a courtesy visit to the national chairman of the party, Abdullahi Ganduje, on Thursday, October 6, where he alleged that Rotimi Amechi worked against President Bola Tinubu in the last election, and that even without these allegations, it was public knowledge that Amechi and many other APC presidential aspirants for the 2023 elections have taken a backseat, largely because President Asiwaju Tinubu has not demonstrated any interest to work with them. Human rights lawyer and former chairman of the National Human Rights Commission, Professor Chid Odinkalo, said he's not particularly happy after 4 weeks of delivering his judgment on the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi's election appeal. The Supreme Court has yet to release the certified true copy of the judgment since October 20. Odinkalo said this in a post on X handle, but I said the FS Court released the certified true copy of his judgment on appeal brought before it by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, only on November 22nd. Despite the court constitutionally having saved 7 working days window, maximum of 14 working days, released a certified true copy of his judgment, the Apex Court released his CTC judgment to Atiku almost a month after he delivers his judgment, while the court is yet to release CTC on his judgment. This is coming. Atiku and Obi came second and third of outcome of elections in Nigeria. Instead of INEC, Nigerian government should scrap the electoral body, add its budget to the judiciary. And Yarom, speaking through the Minister of Niger Delta Development, Mr. Abubakar Momo, during the University of Benin's 48th convocation event, said, University autonomy will no doubt transfer the responsibility of performance directly to the individual institutions, rather than the current state of uncertainty. In his speech, the president highlighted university employees concerned about unpaid salaries, adding that a 4-month wage payment or university employees to ameliorate the problem and pledge to keep the government's commitment to improving universities' circumstances by providing critical facilities like lecture theaters, student hostels, study offices, and learning tools. Universities in Nigeria are battling a severe shortage of staff as thousands of lecturers leave the tertiary institutions to seek greener pastures in foreign lands amid the high number of retirements at universities. The Union disclosed that about 500 academic vacancies existed at the University of Ilorin in Kwara State, while both academic and non-academic staff of the Olusegun Gangu University of Science and Technology were leaving the country. The Acting Atlantic Television Society Watch, a socio-political analyst, Gosin Kelechi Nwogu, urges the federal to grant autonomy to the federal universities across the country to operate in order to gainfully harness potentials that will maximize availability of manpower for productivity.
Yes, it's prolonged because yes, it's prolonged.
Speaking further, he pointed out that the idea of setting up more federal universities in the country can be traced to political reasons, not for the interest of the masses. Group Managing Director Group fighting alongside the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs to end gender-based violence against girls and women has commemorated the 360 days of activism in Abuja, focusing on the need to implement the sexual harassment in tertiary education institutions be an action of a winning coalition against sexual harassment in Nigeria.
Today,
the representative of Nigerian Police Force, Deputy Commissioner of Police, CPO Key Emisim Rita, said gender cases are very sensitive issues to the police and that the police is ever open. Well, you're watching the Global News at 9 p.m. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go away. The whole of that story, we're battling it in a country. Welcome back. This is Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Let's check some more stories. President Bola Tinubu will on Wednesday present 27.5 billion naira appropriation bill, joint sitting of the National Assembly. This was disclosed by the Secretary of Research and Information at the National Assembly, Dr. Ali Barde Boru, at the National Assembly. Ahead of the budget presentation, Tinubu had 3 weeks ago forwarded to both chambers of the National Assembly the 2024-2026 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper, where the sum of 26.1 trillion naira was proposed as a total expenditure profile for the 2024 fiscal year. The Senate through its Committee on Finance, after 2 weeks of interactive sessions, with heads of ministries, departments, and agencies on revenue and expenditure projections made for them and approved the medium-term expenditure framework. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Kayamo, has ordered heads of aviation regulatory agencies over safety concerns in the sector. The minister said a thorough assessment of recent incidents will be carried out during the meeting, adding that recently the Lagos-Abuja flight of United Nigerian Airlines was averted to Asaba, Delta State capital, due to poor weather conditions, while the flight from Murtala Mohammed International Airport Terminal 2 was headed for Abuja, and the pilot grounded the aircraft at the Asaba International Airport, and that caused some confusion in the passage. The report mirrored the narrowing experience filed suits against Malaysia Airlines. The aircraft manufacturer Boeing's litigation request focuses on compensation and finding the truth behind the flight's disappearance, and trace of the airplane was found in a 1,200 square kilometers, 120,000 square kilometers Indian Ocean search zone. Only some pieces of debris picked up, while the Australian-led operation, largest in aviation history, was suspended in 2017. Families released an open letter addressed to the Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, calling for a new search for the missing aircraft on a no-fine, no-fee basis, adding that family members are willing to invest their own money or cooperate with capable individuals and companies, while effective communication with the Malaysian government to kick off a new hunt. Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Aleke, says the federal government has embraced the decision of investors from the Republic of Mexico to visit Nigeria in search of investment in solid minerals. It has been signed by the Special Assistant to the Minister of Media, Shegun Tomri, said the administration of President Bola Tinubu has put in place incentives to ease business for investment in the industry. And the incentives include zero duty on equipment, the countries of origin, and tax holidays. The use of Nigerian banks in dollar terms has diminished. Total assets of all banks in Nigeria put at $122 billion. It's not up to the total asset of Standard Bank, South Africa. It has an asset base of $169 billion. According to the experts, capital is needed to finance big-ticket projects, especially when the government is targeting a $1 trillion economy in a few years' time. The sage recapitalization is somewhat different from the approach adopted in 2020's release in exchange of the dozens of Palestinian prisoners have brought the first relief in the 7-week war. While militant group Hamas raided